Faith in God is faith in yourself. This is the profound truth that has been spoken throughout the ages, yet few truly grasp its significance. The vast majority of us have been taught that God is something external, separate from ourselves, residing in some distant place, overseeing the affairs of the world. We have been conditioned to believe that we are small, insignificant beings, subject to forces beyond our control. But this belief is rooted in ignorance. The truth is that God is not outside of you, nor is God some abstract entity you must seek. God is within you, and to have faith in God is to have faith in your own divine ability to shape and transform your life. Every time you say, "I am," you are invoking the name of God. These two simple words are the key to understanding the power you possess. I am is the very name of the divine, and it is through this consciousness of being that you create your world. If you believe that you are weak, that you are powerless, that you are a victim of circumstances, you will experience life accordingly. But when you believe that you are strong, that you are capable, that you are the creator of your own reality, then the world must conform to that belief. Faith is not an external force, it is an inner knowing. It is the assurance that what you desire is already yours, even before you see it manifest in the physical world. When you understand that faith in God is faith in yourself, you will begin to see that everything you experience is the result of your own consciousness. Nothing happens by chance. Every event, every person you encounter, every situation that unfolds in your life is a reflection of what you believe to be true about yourself and the world. This is the law of consciousness. What you hold in mind, what you feel to be real, must manifest. The outside world is nothing more than a mirror, reflecting back to you the state of your inner being. Consider this for a moment. How often have you desired something only to be plagued by doubt? You may say to yourself, "I want this," but in the next breath, you allow thoughts of fear and uncertainty to enter your mind. You think of all the reasons why it may not happen, why you may not be worthy, why it is beyond your reach. These doubts and fears are not just idle thoughts, they are the very barriers preventing your desires from becoming reality. To have faith in God, to have faith in yourself, is to rise above these doubts. It is to stand firm in the belief that what you desire is already yours, regardless of appearances. This is the true meaning of prayer. Prayer is not begging or pleading with some distant deity to grant your wishes. Prayer is the act of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is the conscious decision to align your thoughts and emotions with the reality you wish to create. When you pray, you are not asking for something to be given to you, you are claiming it as already yours. You are embodying the state of mind that corresponds with the fulfillment of your desire, knowing that the external world must conform to your inner state. Think about the times in your life when you have succeeded, when things have gone exactly as you had hoped. In those moments, you were not filled with doubt. You were not questioning whether or not you could achieve what you wanted. Instead, you had an inner certainty, a quiet confidence that everything would work out. This is faith. It is not about forcing things to happen or controlling the circumstances around you. It is about trusting that your inner state of being is the only reality, and that the outer world will reflect that truth in its own time and way. Faith in God is also about letting go. It is about releasing the need to control every detail, every outcome. When you truly have faith, you no longer feel the need to struggle or strive. You no longer feel anxious or worried about whether things will turn out the way you want. Instead, you rest in the knowledge that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, that what is meant for you cannot be taken from you, and that the path will reveal itself in perfect timing. This is not passive acceptance, but an active trust in the power within you to bring your desires into being. To cultivate this faith, you must be mindful of what you focus on. Every day, you are bombarded with distractions, with information and opinions that seek to pull you away from your inner knowing. The world will tell you that you are limited, that you must accept things as they are, that you are at the mercy of forces beyond your control. But none of this is true. Your only limitations are the ones you accept for yourself. To have faith in God, to have faith in yourself, is to reject these false limitations and to embrace the infinite potential that resides within you. You must also be vigilant about the words you speak and the thoughts you entertain. Every time you say, "I am," you are affirming something about yourself. Are you affirming your greatness, your strength, your ability to create? Or are you affirming lack, doubt, and fear? The words you use, whether spoken aloud or in the silence of your mind, have tremendous power. They shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your reality. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you speak to yourself. Replace words of doubt with words of confidence. Replace thoughts of fear with thoughts of faith. When you do this consistently, you will begin to see the evidence of your new beliefs in the world around you. There will be times when it feels difficult to have faith, when circumstances seem overwhelming and it appears that nothing is going your way. In these moments, it is easy to fall back into old patterns of thinking, to allow fear and doubt to take over. But this is precisely when you must hold firm to your faith. It is in the face of adversity that your faith is truly tested, and it is in these moments that you have the greatest opportunity for growth. Instead of giving in to fear, remind yourself of who you are. You are the creator of your reality. You are one with the divine, and nothing is impossible for you. Faith is not something you either have or don't have. It is something you cultivate. It is a practice, a way of being. Every day you have the opportunity to strengthen your faith by aligning your thoughts and emotions with the reality you wish to create. Every time you choose faith over doubt, you are reinforcing your connection to the divine power within you, and with each act of faith, you are drawing closer to the realization of your desires. Remember, faith is not about seeing the evidence first. It is about knowing the truth of your being, even when the external world has yet to catch up. The world may tell you that you need proof, that you must see results before you can believe. But this is not how creation works. Faith comes first. It is the seed from which all manifestation grows. You plant the seed through your belief, through your inner conviction, and in time, the outer world will reflect that belief. In moments of doubt, remind yourself that you are never alone. The divine is always with you, because the divine is you. There is no separation between you and the source of all creation. Every desire you have, every dream you hold, is not random. It is the divine expressing itself through you, urging you to step into your power and claim what is rightfully yours. To have faith in God is to have faith in this truth. It is to trust that your desires are meant to be fulfilled, that you are worthy of all that you seek, and that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Ultimately, faith in God is the recognition that you are the creator of your own experience. You are not a passive participant in life, subject to the whims of fate. You are an active co-creator, shaping your reality with every thought, every feeling, every belief. When you truly grasp this, when you understand that faith in God is faith in yourself, you will no longer doubt your ability to achieve your desires. You will move through life with a sense of purpose and confidence, knowing that you have the power to create whatever you choose. So the question is not whether you have faith, but where you place it. Do you place your faith in fear, in limitation, in lack? Or do you place your faith in your own divine potential, in the boundless power of your imagination, in the truth of your oneness with God? The choice is yours, and it is a choice you make every day, in every moment, with every thought and every word. Choose wisely, for your life is the reflection of your faith. Faith in God as faith in yourself is a concept that goes deeper than just an intellectual understanding. It is something you must embody, live, and breathe. The journey toward embodying this truth begins with your acceptance that there is no separation between the self and the divine. You must come to recognize that your every thought, emotion, and assumption is a reflection of the infinite power that resides within you, waiting for you to acknowledge it. When you say, "I am," you are tapping into the very essence of creation. These two words carry the weight of your entire being, for whatever follows "I am" becomes your experience. If you say, "I am weak," you are calling into your life the experience of weakness. If you say, "I am strong," strength will rise within you, responding to the command you have issued. This is not merely positive thinking or wishful affirmation. It is the law of your existence. What you claim to be, you become. Your awareness of being is the cause of everything that unfolds in your life. Your world, your experiences, your relationships, and your circumstances are all mirrors reflecting back to you what you believe about yourself. But faith is more than just claiming positive attributes. Faith is an unwavering conviction in the unseen. It is knowing with absolute certainty that the power within you is greater than any external circumstance, even when everything around you suggests otherwise. This is the difference between true faith and wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is fragile, it crumbles in the face of adversity. True faith, on the other hand, is solid and unshakable, because it is rooted in the understanding that you are the creator of your reality. The world does not happen to you, it happens through you. There will be moments when everything seems to contradict your desires, when the evidence of your senses tells you that what you want is impossible, that you are foolish to believe in your own power. In these moments, you must remember that appearances are just that, appearances. They have no real substance unless you give them substance. Faith demands that you close your eyes to the outer world and trust in the reality of the inner world, for the inner world is the only true reality. The external world is nothing more than the reflection of what is happening within you. If you can maintain your faith in the inner vision, the outer world will eventually align with it. This is why faith is so vital. Without faith, you are at the mercy of circumstances. You are tossed about by the whims of the world, reacting to events rather than creating them. But with faith, you are the master of your fate. You are no longer bound by what is. You are free to imagine what could be and to bring that vision into reality. Faith allows you to transcend the limitations of your current situation and to step into the life you desire. Consider for a moment the power of your imagination. Imagination is the tool through which you create your reality. It is the means by which you bring the unseen into the seen. But imagination without faith is powerless. You can dream all day long, but if you do not believe in the reality of your dreams, they will never come to pass. Faith is the fuel that powers your imagination, the force that brings your desires to life. When you have faith in your imagination, you are aligning yourself with the divine creative force within you. You are stepping into your role as a creator, knowing that what you imagine is not just a fantasy, but a blueprint for your future. Faith also requires patience. The world we live in often conditions us to expect immediate results, but creation does not always happen overnight. There is a gestation period for all things, a time between planting the seed and seeing the harvest. During this time, it is easy to become discouraged, to question whether your desires will ever come to pass. But this is precisely when your faith must be strongest. Just as a farmer does not dig up his seeds to check whether they are growing, you must not allow doubt to uproot your faith. Trust that the seed you have planted in your imagination is growing, even if you cannot yet see the evidence of it. The harvest will come in its own time, and when it does, it will be abundant. Faith is not passive. It is an active, dynamic force. It requires you to participate in your own creation. This does not mean forcing things to happen or trying to control the outcome. It means aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. It means living as if your desires are already fulfilled, knowing that the universe will arrange itself to bring your vision into being. This is what it means to act in faith, to walk through life with the confidence that everything you desire is already yours, even if the evidence has not yet appeared. Faith in God as faith in yourself also involves a deep sense of responsibility. When you understand that you are the creator of your reality, you can no longer blame others for your circumstances. You cannot look to the outside world and say, "This is happening to me because of someone else." You must take full ownership of your life, recognizing that every experience, every event is a result of your own consciousness. This is not to say that you should blame yourself or feel guilty for the challenges you face. Rather, it is an invitation to take back your power. When you accept responsibility for your reality, you also accept your power to change it. The concept of responsibility is often misunderstood. Many people equate responsibility with burden or blame, but in truth, responsibility is freedom. It is the freedom to choose your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions, knowing that these choices shape your reality. When you take responsibility for your life, you are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are a creator, empowered to shape your world as you see fit. But with this responsibility comes the necessity of self-awareness. To create consciously, you must be aware of the thoughts and beliefs that are driving your actions. You must be willing to examine the patterns of thinking that have led you to where you are today. This requires honesty and courage, for it is not always easy to confront the limiting beliefs that have held you back. But this self-awareness is essential if you are to transform your life. You cannot change what you are not aware of. Faith in God as faith in yourself is also about trusting the process. There will be times when the path is not clear, when it feels as though nothing is happening, and you are tempted to give up. In these moments, it is important to remember that the universe is always working on your behalf, even if you cannot see it. Sometimes things must fall apart before they can come together. Sometimes what appears to be a setback is actually a step forward in disguise. Faith means trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't look like it. Trusting the process also means letting go of the need for control. So often we try to micromanage the details of our lives, believing that we must force things to happen in a certain way. But true faith requires surrender. It requires you to release your grip on the how and the when, and to trust that the universe knows the best way to bring your desires into reality. This does not mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means taking inspired action, following the guidance of your inner self, and allowing the universe to handle the rest. To have faith in God is to have faith in the infinite intelligence that governs all things. This intelligence is not separate from you, it is within you, guiding you every step of the way. When you trust in this intelligence, you open yourself up to possibilities that you could never have imagined. You allow the universe to work through you, bringing your desires into being in ways that are far beyond your limited understanding. Faith in yourself also means believing in your worthiness. Many people struggle with feelings of unworthiness, believing that they are not deserving of the life they desire. But this belief is a lie. You are worthy simply because you exist. You do not have to earn your worthiness or prove it to anyone. You are a divine being, and you are deserving of all the good that life has to offer. To have faith in yourself is to know this truth deep in your bones. It is to walk through life with the confidence that you are enough, just as you are, and that the universe is conspiring in your favor. It is easy to fall into the trap of self-doubt, especially in a world that constantly tells you that you are not enough. But you must resist this temptation. You must remind yourself daily of your inherent worthiness, your divine power, and your ability to create the life you desire. This is not arrogance or ego, it is simply the truth of who you are. When you believe in yourself, you are aligning with the truth of your being, and the universe will respond in kind. Faith is also about persistence. It is about holding on to your vision, even when the world seems to be telling you otherwise. There will be times when things do not go according to plan, when it feels as though you are moving backward instead of forward. In these moments, it is easy to lose faith, to give up on your dreams, and to settle for less than you desire. But this is the very moment when faith is most important. It is in the face of adversity that your faith is truly tested. Will you give in to doubt? Or will you hold on to your vision, trusting that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring your desires into reality? Persistence is the key to success in any endeavor. The most successful people are not those who never face challenges, but those who refuse to give up in the face of them. They hold on to their vision with unwavering faith, knowing that their desires will come to pass, no matter how long it takes. This is the kind of faith you must cultivate in yourself. You must be willing to persist, to keep going, even when the evidence of your senses suggests otherwise. You must trust that every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your goal. Finally, faith in God as faith in yourself is about living in alignment with your highest self. This means making choices that are in harmony with your values, your purpose, and your truth. It means living authentically, without fear of judgment or rejection. When you are in alignment with your highest self, you are in alignment with the divine. You are living from a place of love, joy, and peace, and the universe responds to this vibration with abundance. This kind of alignment requires self-reflection and self-awareness. It requires you to be honest with yourself about what you truly desire and to let go of anything that is not in alignment with that truth. It may mean making difficult decisions, letting go of relationships, jobs, or situations that no longer serve you. But when you have faith in yourself, you trust that the universe will support you in making these changes. You trust that by living in alignment with your highest self, you are opening the door to even greater blessings. Faith in God as faith in yourself is a powerful force for transformation. It is the key to unlocking your potential and creating the life you desire. But it is not something that happens overnight. It is a journey, a practice, and a way of being. It requires daily commitment, self-reflection, and persistence. But when you cultivate this faith, you will begin to see the world in a new light. You will understand that you are not a victim of circumstances, but a creator of your reality. You will walk through life with the confidence that everything is working out for your highest good, and that you have the power to shape your world as you see fit. Faith in God as faith in yourself is not only a spiritual principle but a deeply practical one, touching every aspect of your life in ways both seen and unseen. When we speak of faith, we are not merely addressing the act of believing in something outside of ourselves, a distant deity or external force. Instead, we are recognizing the truth that this God we seek to have faith in is not separate from us. This God is the divine power that moves within us, through us, and as us. The foundation of this truth lies in the understanding that God and man are one, that the power which created the universe also flows through our very being. When you realize that this divine presence resides within you, the idea of having faith in God becomes synonymous with having faith in yourself. You can no longer view God as some external entity sitting far away in the heavens, pulling the strings of your fate. Instead, you see God as the creative force within, the force that responds to your every thought, every feeling, every assumption. Faith in God, then, is not passive worship or blind devotion, but an active acknowledgement that you, as a living, breathing expression of the divine, have the power to shape your reality. But let us take this a step further. What does it truly mean to have faith in yourself? Faith in yourself is more than just confidence or self-esteem. It is not about convincing yourself that you are good enough, talented enough, or deserving enough, though these things matter. Faith in yourself means understanding that you are the operant power in your life. It means recognizing that the source of all creation, the God you revere, is not something you have to reach outside yourself to access. It is within you, fully accessible and ever present. This is the great secret. The divine presence, the I am that speaks through you, is the very same power that creates worlds. When you say, I am, you are claiming the creative power of the universe, shaping your world through your assumptions and beliefs. If you say, I am abundant, you are aligning yourself with the energy of abundance. If you say, I am love, you embody the essence of love itself. This is not some esoteric or mystical teaching. It is the law of life, plain and simple. Whatever you claim for yourself in consciousness will manifest in your world. Yet the challenge arises when we look at our circumstances and see a gap between what we desire and what we experience. This is where faith truly comes into play. Faith is the ability to hold on to the truth of your inner reality, even when the outer world appears to contradict it. It is the knowing that your inner world, the world of your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions, is the real world. The external world is simply a reflection, a mirror of what is happening inside of you. I think of it like planting a seed. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not expect to see a tree the next day. You understand that there is a process of growth that must unfold beneath the surface before the seed becomes a tree. In the same way, when you plant the seed of a new belief or assumption within yourself, you must trust that it will grow, even if you cannot see immediate evidence of it. Faith is the patience to allow the process of creation to unfold in its own time, knowing that the seed you have planted in your consciousness is taking root and will soon bear fruit. But how do we cultivate this kind of faith? How do we strengthen our belief in ourselves when the world around us is constantly reinforcing the idea that we are limited, powerless, or at the mercy of fate? The first step is awareness. You must become aware of the thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that are shaping your current reality. So often we move through life on autopilot, reacting to circumstances without realizing that those very circumstances are the product of our inner state. To break this cycle, you must become a conscious observer of your thoughts and emotions. Notice what you are telling yourself throughout the day. Are you affirming your power, or are you giving it away? Are you claiming abundance, love, and joy, or are you reinforcing lack, fear, and doubt? Once you become aware of the thoughts and beliefs that are shaping your reality, the next step is to consciously choose new ones. This is where imagination comes into play. Your imagination is the key to transforming your inner state and, by extension, your outer world. Whatever you can imagine, you can create. The only limitation is your willingness to believe in the reality of what you imagine. This is not about wishful thinking or daydreaming. It is about using your imagination as a tool for creation. When you imagine something, you are giving form to the formless. You are bringing the invisible into the visible. But for your imagination to bear fruit, you must believe in the reality of what you imagine. You must have faith that what you see in your mind's eye is as real as what you see with your physical eyes. In fact, it is more real, for the inner world is the cause, and the outer world is the effect. Faith in yourself, then, is faith in your imagination. It is the understanding that your imagination is the creative power of God within you, and that what you imagine and believe to be true will manifest in your life. This is why it is so important to guard your imagination carefully. What are you imagining on a daily basis? Are you imagining success, joy, and abundance, or are you imagining failure, struggle, and lack? Whatever you are imagining, you are creating. Your imagination is not idle. It is the workshop in which the future is shaped. But there is more to faith in yourself than just imagination. Faith also requires action. It is not enough to sit in meditation and visualize your desires. You must also take inspired action toward your goals. This does not mean forcing things to happen or trying to control every detail of the process. It means listening to your inner guidance and acting on it when the time is right. It means trusting that the steps you are taking, no matter how small, are leading you toward your desired outcome. Action, when taken from a place of faith, is powerful. It is not about efforting or striving. It is about moving in alignment with the flow of life, trusting that the universe is supporting you every step of the way. When you act in faith, you are sending a powerful signal to the universe that you believe in the reality of your desires. You are affirming that what you want is already yours, and the universe will respond by bringing the right people, opportunities, and circumstances into your life to make it so. Yet even with all of this, there will still be moments of doubt. There will be times when the path is unclear, when obstacles arise, and when it feels as though nothing is happening. In these moments, it is easy to lose faith, to question whether your desires will ever come to pass. But this is precisely when your faith must be strongest. It is in the face of adversity that true faith is tested. When doubt arises, remember that faith is not about the absence of doubt. It is about moving forward in spite of it. It is about holding on to the vision of what you want, even when the evidence of your senses tells you otherwise. Faith is the bridge between the seen and the unseen. It is the knowing that what you desire is already yours, even if you cannot yet see it with your physical eyes. In these moments of doubt, it is helpful to return to the present moment. So often our doubts and fears arise because we are projecting into the future, worrying about what might happen or what might not happen. But faith is always in the present. It is about trusting that in this moment everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. Practice bringing yourself back to the present moment whenever doubt arises. Remind yourself that the only thing you need to do right now is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your desires, and trust in the process. Faith is not about knowing how or when your desires will come to pass. It is about knowing that they will. The how and when are not your concern. Your only job is to stay aligned with your vision, to hold on to the belief that what you want is already yours, and to take inspired action as it is revealed to you. Another powerful way to cultivate faith in yourself is through gratitude. Gratitude is the ultimate act of faith because it affirms that what you desire is already here. When you practice gratitude, you are telling the universe, "Thank you for this manifestation. I know it is already mine." Gratitude shifts your focus away from lack and toward abundance. It opens your heart and mind to the infinite possibilities that exist for you. Start each day with a practice of gratitude. Before you even get out of bed, take a few moments to give thanks for all that you have and all that is on its way to you. Imagine yourself living in the reality you desire and feel the gratitude as though it has already come to pass. This simple practice will not only raise your vibration but also strengthen your faith in yourself and in the universe. Faith in God as faith in yourself is a journey, a lifelong practice. It is not something you achieve once and for all. It is something you cultivate daily through your thoughts, your beliefs, your imagination, and your actions. There will be times when your faith wavers, when doubt creeps in, and when the path ahead seems uncertain. But these are the moments when your faith is most needed. These are the moments when you must remind yourself of the truth that you are the creator of your reality, that the power of God resides within you, and that whatever you desire is already yours. Faith is not about waiting for something outside of you to make things happen. It is about knowing that you are the operant power, that your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions are shaping your world. And when you have this kind of faith in yourself, there is nothing you cannot achieve. You are a limitless being capable of creating anything you can imagine. So hold on to your vision, trust in the process, and have faith in the divine power within you. For when you have faith in yourself, you have faith in God. And with that kind of faith, all things are possible. In conclusion, faith in God as faith in yourself is the realization that the divine presence and creative power of the universe resides within you. It is not about seeking an external force for guidance or validation, but recognizing that you hold the key to shaping your reality through your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. By trusting in your inner self and aligning with your highest truth, you tap into limitless potential. The journey requires patience, persistence, and a deep commitment to your vision. But through unwavering faith, you become the creator of your world. With this understanding, you can manifest the life you desire, knowing that faith in yourself is faith in the divine within you, and through this partnership, all things are possible. When you sit in stillness, pondering the question that echoes in your heart, Lord, why hasn't my faith brought the answer yet? You are not asking a distant deity, but the divine essence within you. Faith is not a mere wish nor a desperate plea. It is the art of assuming the end as already fulfilled, of walking in the conviction that what you desire is already yours. The delay, if you perceive one, is not a denial. It is the perfect orchestration of unseen forces aligning to bring about what is best in the most harmonious way. God, who dwells within, works in silence, shaping the contours of your reality with precision and love. Every seeming delay is a reminder to trust the process, to strengthen the bond between your inner conviction and the outer manifestation. Faith is the seed planted in the soil of your imagination. You water it with belief, nourish it with gratitude, and shield it from doubt. But the growth of that seed happens beneath the surface, hidden from your eyes. Just as the roots spread unseen to anchor the tree, so too does God work invisibly in the depth of your being. Do not uproot your seed with impatience or fear. Trust that the unseen is as real, if not more so, than what you can touch or see. When the answer hasn't come yet, it may be because your inner state hasn't yet fully aligned with your desire. Ask yourself not if the world has changed, but if you have changed. Have you truly moved into the feeling of the wish fulfilled? Have you embraced the joy and peace of knowing that it is done, even if no outward sign yet confirms it? Silence is not absence, it is the womb of creation. In the silence, God prepares the way. Every moment of waiting is an opportunity to deepen your faith, to practice living as if the answer has already come. It is in these moments of stillness, when nothing seems to be happening, that the most profound transformations occur. Doubt and impatience are shadows that obscure the light of your faith. Cast them aside, for they only serve to delay what is already on its way. Speak to yourself with conviction, declaring that the fulfillment is inevitable. Your words, when spoken in faith, hold the power to shape reality, for they are echoes of divine creation. The journey of faith is not one of seeing to believe, but of believing to see. Persist in the assumption that your prayer is already answered. God's silence is not a void, it is the quiet assurance that everything is unfolding perfectly. Keep your eyes fixed on the promise, not the problem. Know that what you seek is already seeking you, and in the divine timing, the two shall meet. Faith is the unseen force that connects the desires of your heart to the reality you wish to experience. It is not a passive state of hoping for something to happen. Rather, it is an active and conscious decision to assume that your wish has already been fulfilled. Faith operates as a bridge between the world of imagination and the tangible world, bringing what you envision into being. It is the creative power within you, the divine spark that mirrors the infinite possibilities of God Himself. When you hold faith in your heart, You are engaging with the highest form of spiritual alignment. Faith is not about looking at the external world for confirmation. It is about trusting the unseen, believing in the invisible, and holding steadfast to the feeling of your wish being fulfilled, even when the evidence is not yet visible. This is the essence of creation, for everything in the physical world begins as an idea, a belief, a feeling. Faith is the foundation upon which that transformation from idea to reality occurs. Faith requires you to step into the role of the Creator. It asks you to embody the state of already having, even when your senses tell you otherwise. To have faith is to recognize that the power of creation does not come from external circumstances or conditions, but from within you. This power is limitless, unchanging, and always available, but it requires your active participation. By choosing to believe in the reality of your desire, you align yourself with the divine intelligence that orchestrates the universe. There is a profound truth in understanding that faith is not a reaction to favorable circumstances, but a cause that brings those circumstances into being. When you wait for conditions to improve before you believe, you place your power outside yourself. You make your faith conditional upon the external, and in doing so, you deny the creative power within. True faith begins with the unwavering decision to trust, to feel, and to live as though your wish is already fulfilled, regardless of what the outer world may show. The strength of faith lies in its ability to transcend logic and reason. Faith does not require evidence, it is the evidence. It does not wait for the world to confirm its validity, because it knows that the world is a mirror reflecting the state of your inner being. When you embody faith, you are not deceiving yourself, you are aligning yourself with the truth of who you are, an extension of the divine, a co-creator with God. Faith affirms that what you desire is not only possible, but inevitable when you hold it firmly in your consciousness. Faith is not meant to be fleeting or occasional, it is a state of being. It calls you to be steadfast, unwavering, and persistent, even in the face of adversity. When challenges arise, they are not signs that your faith has failed, but opportunities for you to deepen it. These moments test your resolve, asking whether you truly believe or if your belief is dependent on immediate gratification. Faith that endures is faith that creates. It is the quiet strength that carries you through uncertainty, knowing that the end is already secure. One of the greatest misconceptions about faith is the idea that it is passive. Faith is deeply active. It engages your imagination, your feelings, and your actions. To have faith is to see with the inner eye what is not yet visible to the outer. It is to feel the reality of your desire so completely that you cannot help but act as though it is already true. This is not pretense or delusion, it is the most profound act of creation. By living from the end, you call forth the conditions necessary for your desire to manifest. Faith is also inseparable from the power of assumption. To assume the reality of your desire is to claim it as already yours. This assumption is not based on wishful thinking, but on the recognition that creation begins within. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you activate the divine laws of manifestation. You begin to align your thoughts, words, and actions with the state of already having, and in doing so, you bring that state into being. This is the creative process in its purest form, and it is powered by faith. Many people struggle with faith because they confuse it with hope or longing. Hope is a beautiful sentiment, but it is not the same as faith. Hope looks to the future, faith lives in the present. Faith does not say, "One day it will be mine." It declares, "It is mine now." This present tense affirmation is what sets faith apart and gives it its creative power. Faith does not wait for conditions to improve, it improves conditions by transforming your inner state. When you live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the outer world has no choice but to conform. The practice of faith requires discipline and dedication. It asks you to focus your thoughts and feelings on the desired outcome, rather than the current reality. This is not always easy, especially when the world around you seems to contradict your desires. But this is where faith proves its strength. It is in these moments of contradiction that your faith is refined, strengthened, and purified. The more you persist in believing in the unseen, the more you train your mind to focus on what you want rather than what you fear. Faith is intimately connected to your imagination, for it is through imagination that you create the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The mind is the workshop of creation, and imagination is the tool that shapes your reality. When you imagine your desire as already real, you begin to feel the emotions associated with it: joy, gratitude, peace. These feelings are the language of the soul, the signal to the divine that you are ready to receive. By maintaining this feeling, you align yourself with the frequency of your desire, allowing it to flow effortlessly into your experience. The role of faith is not to force or control, but to allow. Faith does not strive, it trusts. It does not question how or when it knows that all things are unfolding perfectly. This trust is what gives faith its power. It releases the need to manipulate the outer world and focuses instead on cultivating the inner state. When you let go of the how and the when, you free yourself to fully embrace the now. And it is in the now that creation occurs. Faith, at its core, is an act of surrender. It is the willingness to let go of doubt, fear, and resistance, and to rest in the assurance that what you desire is already done. This surrender is not a weakness, but a profound strength, for it allows you to tap into the infinite power of the divine. When you surrender to faith, you open the door for miracles to enter your life, for you align yourself with the limitless potential of God. Faith is not something you acquire, it is something you cultivate. It is a choice you make moment by moment, a decision to trust the unseen over the seen, the eternal over the temporary. Every time you choose faith over doubt, you strengthen your connection to the divine and move closer to the fulfillment of your desires. This is the path of creation, the journey of becoming, and it begins with the simple yet profound act of believing. When you look at the world around you, the greatest miracles often unfold in silence. The seeds that sprout into mighty trees do so beneath the soil, unseen and unheard. The sun rises without a sound, illuminating the world with quiet majesty. In much the same way, God works in silence, orchestrating the intricate details of your life with precision and love, even when you cannot see it or feel it. The silence of God is not a void or an absence, it is a profound stillness filled with intention and purpose. In moments when you feel that nothing is happening, know that everything is happening. Now, the forces that align your circumstances, the whispers of divine guidance, and the shaping of your destiny all occur in this sacred quiet. This silence is where God weaves the unseen threads of your desires into the tapestry of your life. Impatience often leads us to believe that silence is a sign of neglect or indifference, but nothing could be further from the truth. Silence is the space where faith is tested and strengthened. It is in these silent intervals that you are called to trust not in what you can see, but in the unseen. Trust that God's timing is perfect, and trust that even when you cannot perceive progress, divine forces are working tirelessly on your behalf. The silence is also an invitation. It is an opportunity to quiet the noise of your own doubts, fears, and distractions, and to listen with your heart. God speaks most clearly in the stillness, when the chatter of the mind subsides and the soul becomes receptive. This is where divine wisdom flows, where you are reminded that the universe is conspiring in your favor, even when outward appearances suggest otherwise. God's silence is a reminder to rest in the assurance that the outcome is already secure. It is not your role to control or force the process, it is your role to align with it. By trusting the silence, you step into the flow of divine harmony, allowing the unfolding to happen in its perfect time and way. Resistance and worry only delay what is already destined to come, while trust and surrender open the door to miracles. The greatest works of God often unfold in ways that seem invisible or inconsequential at first. Like a seed germinating underground, these works take time to manifest visibly. Yet beneath the surface, the roots grow deep, laying the foundation for a stable and enduring outcome. This is the wisdom of the silent process, an unseen preparation that ensures not only the fulfillment of your desires, but their sustainability and abundance. Silence is not only a space of divine action, but also a reflection of divine nature. God does not shout, he whispers. He does not rush, he moves with perfect timing. To understand and align with this rhythm, you must embrace the silence, not fear it. Silence is not a pause in the journey, it is the journey itself. It is where your soul learns patience, resilience, and the unshakable trust that what is meant for you cannot miss you. When you look back on the moments in your life where it seemed God was silent, you will often find they were the moments of greatest growth. These are the times when you were being prepared for something far greater than you could have imagined. The silence was not a withholding of blessings, but a time of refinement, where you were molded into the person capable of receiving and sustaining those blessings. God's silence is His assurance that all is well. It is the quiet confidence of a divine plan unfolding perfectly, even when you cannot see the full picture. Like a master artist adding brushstrokes to a canvas, he works meticulously, each stroke contributing to the masterpiece of your life. And just as the artist does not reveal the painting before it is complete, so too does God often work in ways that are hidden until the perfect moment. Embrace the silence, for it is not emptiness but fullness. It is not stagnation but preparation. It is the sacred space where miracles are born, where faith is nurtured, and where the greatest works of God are accomplished. Trust in the silence, and you will discover that it is not the absence of action, but the presence of divine power in its most profound form. Patience is not merely the act of waiting, it is a profound spiritual discipline that aligns your inner world with the divine timing of creation. In the journey of life, it is easy to become restless or anxious when your desires do not manifest as quickly as you hope. Yet patience is the bridge that connects the promise of your dreams to their fulfillment. It is in this space of waiting that your faith is deepened, your character refined, and your alignment with God's plan strengthened. Patience calls you to trust in the unseen, to believe that even when nothing appears to be happening, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. It asks you to release the need to control outcomes and to rest in the assurance that the timing of the universe is perfect. While the physical world often demands instant results, the spiritual process operates on a divine schedule, one that ensures the highest good for all involved. In the moments when patience is most challenging, remember that delays are not denials. They are opportunities for growth, for preparation, and for alignment. When your desires seem out of reach, it is not because they are being withheld, but because the foundation is still being built. Just as a gardener must wait for the seed to sprout, you must allow the unseen forces of creation to do their work. The soil is being prepared, the roots are growing deep, and the conditions are aligning to bring forth the fruit of your efforts. Patience is also a teacher. It teaches you to release resistance and embrace trust. Resistance arises when you push against the flow of life, insisting that things must happen on your terms and timeline. But life has its rhythm, and your task is not to fight it but to harmonize with it. Patience allows you to let go of the struggle and to rest in the knowledge that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. It is in this surrender that you find peace, even in the midst of waiting. When you cultivate patience, you open yourself to the lessons hidden within the process. Waiting is never wasted time, it is a sacred space where transformation occurs. In this space, you learn resilience, humility, and gratitude. You discover the strength to persevere, even when the path is unclear. And you develop the capacity to appreciate the journey, not just the destination. Each moment of waiting becomes an opportunity to deepen your connection with God and to align your desires with His will. Patience also aligns your emotions with your intentions. When you rush or force things, you often act from a place of fear, doubt, or lack. These emotions create resistance and disrupt the flow of creation. Patience, on the other hand, is rooted in trust and faith. It allows you to remain calm and centered, even when the outer world does not yet reflect your inner vision. This emotional alignment is essential because your feelings are the vibrational signal that attracts your desires into being. In the quiet moments of waiting, patience calls you to focus on the present. Too often, impatience pulls you into the future, causing you to worry about what has not yet happened. But the present is where life unfolds, where creation takes place. By practicing patience, you bring your attention back to the now, grounding yourself in the only moment that truly exists. This presence allows you to see the beauty and blessings of the current moment, even as you move toward your desires. Patience is not passive, it is deeply active. It requires you to hold the vision of your desire with unwavering faith while taking inspired action toward its realization. It is not about sitting idly by, waiting for something to happen, but about participating in the process with trust and confidence. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. And each step taken with patience strengthens your alignment with the divine flow. The power of patience lies in its ability to transform your perspective. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from frustration to gratitude, from doubt to faith. It reminds you that life is not a race but a journey, and that each moment is a gift. When you practice patience, you begin to see delays not as obstacles but as divine timing in action. You trust that everything is happening for your highest good, even when it does not unfold as you expect. Patience also deepens your connection with God. It is an act of surrender, a declaration of trust in His wisdom and love. When you are patient, you acknowledge that God's plan is greater than your own, and that His timing is always perfect. This trust allows you to let go of the need for immediate results and to rest in the assurance that all is well. It is in this state of surrender that you find true peace, knowing that your desires are being fulfilled in the best possible way. Patience is a reflection of your inner state. It reveals your capacity to trust, to wait, and to align with the flow of life. It is not a test of endurance, but a journey of transformation, where you learn to let go of resistance and embrace faith. When you practice patience, you align yourself with the divine rhythm of creation, allowing your desires to manifest in their perfect time and way. And in this alignment, you discover that the journey is as beautiful and meaningful as the destination. Silence is not emptiness, it is fullness in disguise. It is the sacred space from which all creation emerges, the womb where dreams, desires, and divine plans gestate before they are born into reality. In this quiet space, the forces of the universe work with precision and intention, weaving the unseen threads of life into a tapestry of infinite possibilities. To dismiss silence as inactivity is to misunderstand its profound power, for it is within silence that the most significant movements of life begin. When you plant a seed in the soil, the most critical transformations occur beneath the surface, hidden from view. The seed splits open, roots push down, and the foundations of growth are laid in utter stillness. Likewise, silence is the fertile ground where your desires take root. It is a sacred pause, a space of becoming, where the divine aligns circumstances, prepares opportunities, and shapes outcomes beyond your comprehension. Silence is not an absence of communication, but a higher form of it. In the stillness, God speaks not through words, but through whispers of intuition, feelings of peace, and moments of clarity. These silent messages guide you toward your purpose and remind you of the divine order unfolding in your life. When you quiet the noise of doubt and distraction, you become attuned to these subtle cues, allowing them to direct your steps with grace and certainty. In silence there is trust. It is a space where faith is both tested and affirmed. When you cannot see the evidence of progress, when the outer world seems unchanged, the silence challenges you to believe in the unseen. It invites you to rest in the assurance that what you have asked for is already on its way. This trust is not passive but active, a deep inner knowing that aligns you with the creative power of the universe. The womb of silence is where divine timing is orchestrated. Just as a baby must grow to full term before entering the world, so must your desires develop in the silence before manifesting. Rushing the process would lead to incompleteness, just as prematurely breaking the silence would disrupt the harmony of creation. Trusting this timing requires patience, a surrender to the rhythm of life that is often beyond your understanding. Silence also serves as a mirror, reflecting the state of your inner being. In the quiet, you cannot hide from yourself. The stillness brings to light your fears, your doubts, and your unspoken longings. It is in this confrontation that transformation begins. The silence gives you the space to release what no longer serves you and to realign with the truth of who you are. It is not merely a passive waiting, but an active preparation for what is to come. Creation, whether of a new life, a new idea, or a new reality, requires this sacred pause. The silence is not an interruption, but an integral part of the process. It is the incubation period where potential is nurtured and strengthened. Just as the caterpillar must dwell in the cocoon before emerging as a butterfly, you too must honor the silence as a necessary stage of your journey. It is not a time of doing but of being, where you align with the essence of what you wish to create. The power of silence lies in its stillness, its ability to hold space for what is yet to be. In a world that often values noise, action, and immediate results, silence can feel uncomfortable or even threatening. Yet it is precisely in this discomfort that growth occurs. The silence asks you to slow down, to listen, and to trust the process. It teaches you that creation is not something you force, but something you allow. When you embrace silence, you step into the flow of divine creativity. You recognize that there is a time for every purpose under heaven, and that the silence is as much a part of creation as the manifestation itself. It is not a void to be filled, but a fullness to be experienced. It is the space where you align with the divine, where you listen to the still, small voice, and where you become a co-creator of your reality. The silence is not empty, it is brimming with possibility. It is the womb of creation, where the seeds of your desires are nurtured and brought to life. To honor the silence is to honor the process, to trust in the unseen, and to recognize that the greatest works of God are often accomplished in the quietest of ways. In this sacred stillness, miracles are born, and the infinite unfolds. Overcoming doubt and impatience is a crucial aspect of manifesting your desires and aligning with the divine flow of life. These two inner challenges, doubt and impatience, are often the very forces that disrupt the process of creation, pulling you away from the peace and certainty required to bring your dreams into reality. To overcome them is not just to wait passively or think positively, but to actively cultivate a state of trust, surrender, and unwavering belief in the unseen. Doubt is the whisper of uncertainty that questions whether what you desire is possible. It creeps in when progress seems slow, when the path ahead feels unclear, or when the evidence of your dreams is not yet visible. Doubt can feel logical, presenting itself as a voice of reason, caution, or even self-preservation. Yet it is a barrier to the very faith that anchors you in the process of manifestation. Doubt weakens the vibrational signal you send out, creating resistance that delays or even blocks the fulfillment of your desires. To overcome doubt, you must first recognize it for what it is, a fear of the unknown. Doubt thrives in the absence of visible evidence, but faith does not require evidence. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the antidote to doubt, a deliberate choice to trust in the unseen forces of creation. When you feel doubt creeping in, remind yourself of the times in your life when things worked out despite uncertainty. Reflect on the moments when what seemed impossible became possible. These reflections strengthen your faith and remind you that doubt is often unfounded. Impatience, on the other hand, is the urge to rush the process, to see immediate results without allowing time for natural unfolding. It stems from a sense of lack or urgency, a fear that if something doesn't happen now, it never will. Impatience creates a tension within you that disrupts your alignment with the divine flow. It shifts your focus from gratitude for the present moment to frustration over what has not yet come. To overcome impatience, you must cultivate the practice of presence. The present moment is where life unfolds, where creation happens, and where peace resides. When you focus on the now, you free yourself from the anxieties of the future and the regrets of the past. Presence allows you to see the small blessings that are already manifesting, reminding you that progress is being made, even if it feels imperceptible. Each step forward, no matter how small, is part of the larger journey. Another way to combat impatience is to trust in divine timing. The universe operates on a schedule that often surpasses human understanding. What may feel like a delay is often preparation. It is the time needed to align circumstances, refine your character, or open opportunities that you cannot yet see. Trusting in this timing requires surrender, a release of the need to control outcomes, and a willingness to flow with life's rhythm. Doubt and impatience often feed on one another, creating a cycle of frustration and uncertainty. To break this cycle, you must actively choose a mindset of trust and gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force that shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. It elevates your vibration and aligns you with the frequency of abundance. When you practice gratitude, you affirm that you are already in the process of receiving, which reinforces your faith and calms the restless energy of impatience. Silence and stillness are also essential tools in overcoming these inner challenges. In the quiet moments of reflection, you can connect with the divine presence within you. Silence allows you to hear the whispers of intuition, the assurances of faith, and the guidance of your higher self. It is in these moments of stillness that doubt and impatience lose their power, replaced by a deep sense of peace and certainty. Action, too, plays a role in overcoming doubt and impatience. While faith requires belief in the unseen, it also calls for inspired action in the seen world. Taking steps toward your desires, no matter how small, reinforces your faith and provides tangible evidence of progress. These actions do not need to be grand or dramatic, they simply need to be aligned with your vision and intention. Each step taken in faith is a declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive. Remember that overcoming doubt and impatience is a journey, not a one-time decision. It requires consistent effort, reflection, and self-awareness. Be gentle with yourself in this process. When doubt arises, meet it with understanding rather than resistance. When impatience flares, acknowledge it as a natural part of being human and choose to return to trust. Each time you do, you strengthen your alignment with the divine flow and move closer to the realization of your desires. The power of persistent assumption lies in its ability to shape your reality, acting as a bridge between your desires and their manifestation. Persistent assumption is not merely wishful thinking, it is a deliberate state of mind where you continuously align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you wish to create. It is the unwavering belief that what you desire already exists in the unseen realm and is on its way to becoming visible in your life. At the core of this power is the principle that consciousness creates reality. What you consistently hold in your mind and feel as true becomes the blueprint for your life. Your assumptions are the seeds you plant in the fertile ground of your subconscious mind. With persistence, these seeds grow into the circumstances, relationships, and experiences that shape your world. Just as a farmer does not plant a seed one day and expect a harvest the next, you must nurture your assumptions with patience and faith, trusting that the process is unfolding perfectly. Persistent assumption is not about force, but about consistency. It is the quiet, steady application of belief, even in the face of contradictory evidence. When doubts arise, persistent assumption does not fight against them, it simply returns to the truth of the desired state. This persistence is what allows the subconscious mind to accept your assumption as fact, creating a new vibrational pattern that aligns with your vision. One of the keys to harnessing the power of persistent assumption is emotional alignment. It is not enough to think about what you desire, you must feel it as though it is already yours. Emotions are the energy that animates your assumptions, giving them the vitality needed to manifest. When you assume persistently, you cultivate a state of being that matches the reality you wish to experience. This alignment between thought and emotion is what draws your desire into your life. Persistent assumption also requires imagination. The mind cannot hold on to what it cannot see. By vividly imagining your desired reality, you create a mental picture that serves as a focus for your thoughts and feelings. Imagination allows you to step into the experience of having what you want, reinforcing your assumption and making it feel real. Through repetition, this imagined reality becomes a natural part of your consciousness, dissolving resistance and replacing doubt with certainty. In the practice of persistent assumption, time becomes irrelevant. You are not concerned with when your desire will manifest, because you are already living in the end result in your mind and heart. This detachment from time removes the urgency that can lead to doubt or impatience. Instead, you trust that the manifestation is inevitable, allowing the universe to orchestrate the perfect timing and circumstances for its arrival. One of the challenges of persistent assumption is maintaining your focus in a world filled with distractions and contrary evidence. It requires discipline to keep your thoughts aligned with your desired reality, especially when the external world seems unchanged. However, this is where the true power of persistence lies. By holding firm to your assumption, you train your mind to prioritize your inner reality over external appearances. Over time, the outer world begins to reflect the changes that have already occurred within. The power of persistent assumption is amplified when combined with inspired action. While the act of assuming creates the inner alignment necessary for manifestation, action provides a channel for that alignment to express itself. These actions do not stem from fear or desperation, but from a sense of confidence and trust. They are the natural outflow of a mind and heart aligned with their desired state. Each step you take reinforces your assumption, creating momentum that propels you toward your goal. Persistent assumption is not a one-time effort, but a way of life. It is a commitment to living from the end result, to embodying the reality you wish to create in every moment. This requires vigilance and self-awareness, as well as the willingness to let go of limiting beliefs and habitual thoughts that no longer serve you. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, until persistent assumption is no longer a conscious effort, but a seamless part of who you are. At its heart, persistent assumption is an act of faith. It is the trust that the unseen is more real than the seen, that the power within you is greater than any external circumstance. This faith is not blind, but rooted in the understanding that you are a co-creator of your reality, endowed with the ability to shape your life through the thoughts and feelings you hold most persistently. When you assume the best, when you persist in the belief that your desires are already yours, you align with the infinite creative power of the universe. In this alignment, miracles become natural, and the extraordinary becomes commonplace. Persistent assumption transforms not just your outer circumstances, but your inner state, filling you with a sense of peace, confidence, and certainty. It allows you to live in the joy of having even before your desire is physically present. This joy, this feeling of already being, is the true manifestation, and it is the foundation upon which the visible reality is built.